Hi, hello YouTube, it's Jenny. Today I'm going to be setting up a January tracker, and you know, it's almost January, but I have a feeling that the rest of this month is going to go by super fast. I'm going to reuse this spread because I'm never going to do this and this is just something that I can take off, notes from my dog's training that I can just take off and put somewhere else. Okay, well that didn't turn out so beautiful, but that's okay. So here I just have scrap paper. I was gonna use sticker paper, but I figure I might as well use scrap paper. No need to spend money on more expensive paper for something where I can just use glue. So I hope you all are having a really good holiday week, whether or not you're watching this during the holiday week. I am filming while my kiddo is at a play date, so crossing my fingers that the play date continues to go well so that I can keep filming this video. So in today's video, I'm going to be using these wonderful dot tip pens from Ohuhu. They were gifted to me and I'm so excited to use them. I already went through the whole bundle over to the left here and I picked out my favorite colors, which I swatched over here. I'm gonna keep those to myself so that my kids don't get into them, but just really, really, really excited to have dot markers again because I had one and then I got rid of it, but then I was like, oh man, I really, really wish I had it for creating new spreads, and you'll see. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more flair to my monthly tracker than I have in the past. Also, you'll have to let me know how this video shakes out literally because I just got a new overhead mount and I attach it to the current desk that I'm on, and this desk in and of itself is a little bit wobbly. So yeah, just keep me honest. If it's like too wobbly to even watch, please let me know. I would be very sad and I don't want to make you motion sick. So, all right, so copying this over, I have 2 dots for the day. Okay, so this is for my cycle, and then I have 3 for mood. 1, 2, 3. I love keeping habit trackers and mood trackers because it just helps me check in with myself at least once a day. Even if I don't get the journal, I can just go in here and like see how things are doing. Add my highlight, add my health notes for the day, and then also decide on what I want to track this month, which I think I'll keep the same stuff I had last month, but I will probably end up adding fiction and nonfiction reading as well. I already forgot where that dot was. What are they for? What are they for? Okay. So oh, yep, look at that. I used to draw my trackers with pen until I realized that, oh, hey, I'm a human being and I make mistakes all the time. And instead of getting frustrated with myself or going with like perfection and like scrapping a complete spread because I messed up or smudged the ink or whatever, I just decided, hey, look, I'm just gonna do this in pencil. And it actually ends up working really well, especially this black wing pencil just happens to be very dark and I'm not even pressing very hard, but it stays put. And that's all I can really ask for, is that it stays put. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to track 5 things plus 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, this will end up cutting into my highlight section, but I think it's okay. Okay. Cool. I'll go ahead and add the numbers first. I'm gonna pick my favorite neutral color. You know what? Because it's January and I don't have to worry about like holiday stuff anymore. Oh, I kind of wish that stuck on there, but it doesn't. I'm gonna do pink for the beginning of 2025. Okay, so a lot of times I will get questions like, hey, how do you remember to go in to your trackers and use your journal all the time? And this is actually one of the ways that I do it, is by having a daily tracker that allows me to go into it every day and kind of give myself a little analog hit of dopamine every time I complete something. So it feels really good to cross out my habits when I do them. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'm gonna skip Sunday, and you'll see why in a second. for Sunday, instead of doing another S, this is pretty dorky, but I really like to have a sun instead. Plus it's a nice visual way to see that it is a new day, or a new week. All right, so while I let that dry, I'm gonna go ahead and draw in my weeks like so. And so what I do is for everywhere that I have a tracker like this, I will go ahead and draw the line. I like a Monday start to my weeks, so I will just draw it like this and then continue down the page. Y'all, I started reading, I don't know why I said y'all, ignore that. I write that a lot, like in text messages, but saying it out loud is a totally different thing. I started reading The Anxious Generation, which is by a social psychologist. I believe his name is Jonathan Haidt. And while most of the facts are about Generation Z and the mental health issues that they have surrounding heavy phone use and such, I find, and I'm hoping to find, many takeaways for my kids who are fully in Generation Alpha. While they have iPads, they certainly do not have access to the internet and no access to social media either, unless extremely supervised by me, like literally over my own shoulder on my own social media. Stuff is pretty scary, and as a parent, I don't know, it's a lot of pressure to make sure that your kids experience what is an addictive tool in a safe way. All these social media platforms are meant to be addictive, and I know it's ironic to talk about it here on an online platform, but I try to be very conscious about how I think about my social media use, especially in front of my children, and just try and be as mindful as possible. I don't know if you've seen, oh God, what is it called? But it was mostly about Facebook and how just like totally messed up Facebook is, and how much social media is engineered to keep us addicted. Like our attention is mined to big companies, and we are just kind of like pawns in this huge consumerism game. Anyway, I didn't mean for this video to go down that route, but it's fascinating, right? And especially as parents, again, just being really cautious about it. It's just, I'm terrified for when my kids are old enough to technically have social media. If I could protect them from it for the rest of their lives, I would. You know, this will date me, but Facebook came out when I was in college in Boston, like literally 2003. I think it might have come out in early 2004 for all the colleges in Boston, and that was when it was college only, and it was called the Facebook. But that's when everything started, and I thanked my lucky stars at the ripe age of 19 or however old I was that Facebook did not come out while I was in high school, because I can only imagine the kind of drama that would cause with like people being in relationships or posting on people's walls, because that's something that people used to do that they don't do anymore. But I was just so grateful that that didn't exist while I was still a young person, because I think that really would have messed with my mind. As it was, we already had enough toxic messaging from the media, but now it's just so much more pervasive, and it's trained to us and what we are personally addicted to. And it's just so messed up, guys. So I forget how I got on this. Oh yeah, so I'm just telling you about this book I'm reading. It's really good so far. Just started it though, so not a ton of stuff. All right, let's take a little break there, Jenny. I mean, that's pretty heavy. Okay, so on my cycle's been kind of weird lately, so I'm just gonna start it at 21 and see where it goes from there. You gotta love perimenopause, folks. It's really something else. Okay, now that my Sundays are dry, I will go ahead and draw in my little sun. So cute. I think, you know, while my mood trackers have been very sparse and minimal before, I think I'm really gonna get a little happiness boost when I go in here and see these like little dots and stuff. I think that'll make me very happy. Okay, so let's see, what color should we use for labeling? I'm just gonna test this over here. I love how these have a brush tip on the side. It's actually like slightly, it's kind of like a sign pen. So it might end up being too big. Let me see if I can do this smaller. Yeah, I can do that smaller. Okay, cool. So let's do, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like shimmery. Shimmery is always a huge one in my book. Let's do this Ohuhu. Ooh, on the MD paper, it writes beautifully. And it's actually not as shimmery as it was on the printer paper, but I love it. It's way more like pink than it was on the printer paper. Very nice. And this over here is where I keep health notes. If you want a more detailed walkthrough of how I use my planner, or how I will be using my planner for 2025, go ahead and check out that video. Link plopped somewhere, I guess in the description, I don't really know. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of more sparkle here. So the habits that I'm tracking are this: journal, move, which is left ambiguous on purpose. Like anything I do will count towards movement, even walking the dog. Meditate, which I've been failing miserably at lately. Okay, no sugar, no grains. And guys, I really do this because sugar and grains make me feel absolutely lousy. I'm pretty sure it's just not good for my body. And then 30 minutes nonfiction read. I started this habit a couple weeks ago with a friend, and I think it's working really well. 30 minutes fiction read. It's keeping me off of Netflix as much at night. Even if I just read my 30 minutes and then go over there, it works out so much better. Okay, so this is the day. This is cycle, and this is mood. Oh, and it'll be, okay, this will be really cute. So let's pick some mood colors. This, I believe, is this one. Yeah, so this will be sad. Well, not sad, but just not great. This one will be, let's see, we should do pink for happy. Actually, we'll do this pink for happy. And then we need like a neutral kind of color. Just double checking that's it. Yep, okay, good. Okay. So I think it'd be really cute to continue on with these colors all the way down the page. So I'm really excited for that. And now, time to put in the month name. Did I capture everything? I did. I'm gonna write it with my fountain pen first and then color it in. I think that'll be really nice. All right, not too bad for having the added pressure of the camera being on while doing this. Oh, actually, it'd be really cute. Let me let that dry a little bit more, but to do the colors that I use in the spread on here. Let's see, these two. I really wish the pens had the color name on there, but I think generally when you go to buy this set, like you just end up with the whole set. And you can kind of see all the colors here, like some really cheery colors, which isn't super me, but they're so pretty and I know my kids will love them. And then I love these colors so much. So these are water-based, like you would expect. If these were alcohol-based, we'd be having a serious problem. They're doing okay with the waterproof ink, but I also didn't let it dry super long, so I think that might be a factor. The ink that I use in my fountain pen is Colorverse Permanent Black. It's not my favorite, but I just want to make sure I use it up before I buy anything else. I have my eye on some other permanent black fountain pen ink, but I will take suggestions, especially because I know, well, I just learned recently that fountain pen ink can differ on MD paper versus Tomoe River paper. So I'll have to see. I'll have to do some testing. Maybe I can treat myself to a store visit somewhere and kind of test out the inks I have in mind. Oh, so cute. I love how this turned out, you guys. So thank you so much for watching my habit tracker setup for January 2025. So excited to be ready for the next month without having to rush or do this, you know, kind of in amongst the chaos of my home. And thank you again, Ohuhu, for gifting me these lovely dot markers. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you next time.